Hello, my name is ThyGamePlaya, or TGP for short. If you've been subbed to this channel or even know of me, then chances are you'll know that I don't really do very much with my channel. For the most part, it was dormant with some videos here and there. However, as of late, there's been a lot of activity for the past few weeks. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection came out not too long ago, and it's been quite the smashing hit for the Mega Man community. Old players reliving their memories, while new players experiencing what they had no knowledge of before. What a time to be alive. Fun fact, I began creating content because of Mega Man Battle Network, 6 to be exact. I uploaded my very first video on October 9th, 2008, or 14 years, 6 months, and 3 weeks ago, as of April 30th, 2023. To put it in perspective, that was my senior year in high school. I graduated in 2009. God, I'm old. What a better way to celebrate the coming of this collection by essentially streaming it all. But why have I been streaming more frequently? While yes, the collection has been a big part of as to why I've been streaming more, there's actually a little bit more to it. Now normally, YouTube is my hobby. It's a thing that I do from time to time when I can, and if I have time and inspiration for it. My job always came first though, because quite frankly, it pays. Pays my bills, pays my rent, pays my food, pays for all that stuff. YouTube does not, however. And not to get into exactly what I do, but for the past few months since February, I've been working 10-hour shifts and sometimes even work on Saturdays. Money-wise, it paid great, but mental-wise, boy, it took a hit. I felt like I was missing out on a lot. I always used work as a crutch to not go further with my YouTube content. Anytime somebody would ask me, hey, how come you don't do YouTube full-time or anything like that? I've always said, no, I gotta work. That pays. However, during the overtime period, it kind of hit me. I said, fuck it. With the coming of the collection, I wanted to stream that. All of it. The collection at the time wasn't coming out yet, so in the meantime, I began streaming Pokemon Unite. Gudra came out, so it was a long time since I even tried going to Master Rank, so I streamed myself getting to Master Rank using only Gudra, since Gudra is my favorite Pokemon ever. I decided to stop using work as a crutch and just stream. Basically, just do it. It's something I've always wanted to do, and if I had to be honest, I won't lie and say I didn't take inspiration from a few friends of mine who did stream despite their busy lives. Even though they don't stream often anymore because of their busy lives, that doesn't mean that I can't make room either. Especially if I want to grow and eventually do this on my own. Maybe even replace my current job, but that's a pipe dream. While I've been talking mostly streaming, I also don't want to abandon some of the content I began or even some content I've been wanting to make. My life and mental health has been getting better as time goes on, and with having that drive to stream, I definitely don't want to let go of the things I've started. To give an example, the progression series that I started with Hero. While there's only 2 episodes out in public, technically speaking, I've recorded 9 episodes. I made a promise at the beginning of this year that I will finish one project, whether it be one that I already started, or one that I haven't started yet but I've wanted to do for years. I just might need help with them though. Turns out doing things by yourself might not be the most optimal way of doing things. It's a path I will cross soon. Bear with me, please. Now over to the biggest thing that I have to talk about. If you have seen or heard me talk about this, my streams, they're not up to par. It's not that I don't try to put out good content, it's more that my internet suffers a lot. Streams tend to buffer a lot, be really low quality, or worse, practically unstreamable to where I have to cancel the stream. Keep in mind, I am connected directly to the modem. There is no Wi-Fi or power line adapter in the equation. My ass bought a long ass cable and connected it to the modem. My ISP hasn't been the greatest, and they still aren't to be honest with you. However, I gave them a call the other night that really set things in motion. Kind of. To preface this, the bill is around $90, and we pay for fiber internet. We supposedly get 1 GB download and 500 upload. I do see the download up to par from time to time. For upload though, it's never above 30. But to be honest, 30 is fine for what I do, but it should be more. But you know. As I was calling, the first thing I noticed was the bill went up. It went from 90 to 120 approximately. Essentially, a $30 increase. That's interesting. Keep that in mind. So I talked to the tech and I explained what happens. Keep in mind, this phone call was done like I'd say 7, 8 o'clock at night. I believe the text service is always available. Customer service is a different story. I'll get to that in a bit. But I began talking to the tech and explained what happens. Every night around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, the service gets really bad. Some nights barely even getting up to 1 or 2 megabyte upload and download. I tell them I'm connected directly to the modem and it's the modem they provided, because most ISPs don't like it when you're using another modem. To be honest, I'll consider that as an option to get my own modem, but that's a discussion for another time. Anyhow, clearly, at least I'd like to think that we're good on our end. Everything is good, I'm compliant to what they want, and I should be getting really good internet. It turns out, however, the tech tell us that our area specifically has been having problems for weeks. It has been a known issue, but they never formally told any of us that there was an issue. They only mentioned that they've been doing maintenance. So in essence, they've kind of been blanketing these maintenance routines, but there has been an issue for quite some time. Basically, around the same time I've been wanting to stream. So basically, I picked the perfect time to start streaming, you guys. Oh god. Seems like we would have never known if we didn't call. So that's cool. Our internet being awful is out of our control. On one end, I'm glad it wasn't me, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did stress out and I thought it was me. I'm here thinking I have bought bad cables, maybe my parts are too old. I don't know. I always thought it was my fault. I did blame the ISP a lot, but deep down, I thought it was me. So it was a gigantic relief that I found out that it wasn't necessarily our fault. But on the other hand, what the fuck? Because this has been a thing on their end for a long time and they didn't do shit about it. Or at least they're trying to do something about it, but god, they're taking their sweet time. And considering the fact that we're paying 90 or now apparently 120, that's pretty fucked if you ask me. So I then ask, when was the bill increased? Because I don't recall it being that high. It turns out they increased it after our last bill, which means we've been essentially paying more money for broken internet. Sadly, I will have to call them another day because the customer service office was closed by the time I called. But just knowing that really bummed me out. Here's the funniest thing though, or one of the funniest things. After he said that, after telling us why the bill went up, and after telling us that they were having hardware issues specifically in our area that's making our internet suffer, he then had the gall to essentially tell us, have you tried unplugging your router and waiting 30 seconds before plugging it back in? I tried very hard not to laugh. I really did, but you cannot tell me that there's actual internet issues, hardware issues on your end, and then tell me, hey, have you tried resetting the router? Which, by the way, we did before we even called, so yeah, we did. But apparently we were just wasting our time. And here's the even funnier thing, and this is actually a bit of a more positive thing too. Ever since I called, my internet has actually gotten better. The streams that I did were actually fine, no drop frames or anything. Actually insane. I'm counting my blessings, but I'm not holding my breath either. I even tried doing some window shopping to see if I can get another ISP. Unfortunately, I cannot. Either they're not available in my area, or it's satellite internet. And here's the thing with satellite internet. They have data caps. So essentially, I can only use a certain amount of data, and if I use it all up, I have very slow internet. And when you're streaming, it eats that shit up like crazy. It's not gonna last very long. Not to mention, if you still happen to have bad weather, yeah, you're kind of screwed for satellite internet. So, unfortunately, I am stuck with my current ISP. But assuming my internet doesn't have an issue, I should be okay. So how is my schedule going to look for the upcoming weeks? Well, it's simple really. Battle Network Legacy Collection is the mainstay for the time being, and I will be streaming that majority of the days. I've beaten Battle Network 1 currently, and I'm working on 100% of the game, so I should be getting to Battle Network 2 soon, hopefully this coming week. I also want to stream other things as times go on, but those will be sprinkled along the way. This week, for example, I like to stream some Pokemon Unite. There's some events going on, and I like to climb back up to the Master rank and eventually get to 1600. I'd also like to play some other games too. Metroid Prime Remastered and Resident Evil 4 Remake come to mind. Whatever comes to mind, and if there's a special occasion, I'm down for that, and I hope you are too. So besides YouTube, what other socials do I got? Well, I have a Twitter. 2 actually. My main one is at ThyGamePlaya. This is where I'm me. I retweet memes, shit posts, and some other wholesome content, but most of all, I retweet a lot of titties and ass. A lot of it. Before I used to be self-conscious about that, of what I retweet, because a lot of my fans and whatnot, or people who even follow me, came from Shadow Rock, and they're mostly young, right? But as time went on, and as I got older, I said, I don't care anymore. So I'm just gonna turn myself into an 18+ account and retweet basically that. I am still conscious of what I retweet though, so it might seem like I'm retweeting some crazy stuff, and I do. I am still holding myself back, believe it or not. Promise you. With that said, however, I completely understand that may not be savory for some. If you do follow me there, you're a brave soul, and I am sorry, but I'm not sorry for the potential amount of booba that you'll be getting through my end. And I do sometimes say things, I do sometimes have opinions, but here's the thing. If you don't want to see any of that stuff, I did make a decision to make another Twitter, and that is at ThyGamePlaya. It's a fresh new Twitter, and it's strictly me posting about the content I make, personal updates, and when I stream. I am still getting used to having 2 Twitter accounts. ThyGamePlaya might not have as many tweets and updates because I'm just not used to having 2 Twitters, but I promise I'm going to try and be better as time goes on. So things you'll see on there is any updates regarding to my YouTube, my Twitch, my personal life. That's important. I'm not anything crazy, right? And I used to say these things on my main account, but the thing is, from what I saw, I would say things that would I would have like an important update and whatnot, but then it get completely drowned by all my retweets. And I said, you know what? Let me actually have a separate account so that way people can follow that and actually receive updates and things like that. It may not happen too often, but I do promise to put any updates, any streams, anything that's important that relates to my content onto that Twitter. You won't see any much retweeting of art or any of that sort unless it warrants it. But basically, what you see on my regular Twitter, you're not gonna see on the content Twitter. I promise you that much. And while I don't necessarily stream on Twitch, I actually want to incorporate that as well. So sometime in the near future, I will actually do multi-streaming and stream to both YouTube and Twitch. While I do like streaming on YouTube, Twitch in my opinion is the better platform simply for the features that they have, since they are primarily a streaming platform. YouTube still has a long way to go and is sort of catching up, but I can't deny how cool Twitch can be. Perhaps I may even be able to have affiliate status or even partnership, but I won't find out until I try. Since I don't have any monetization currently due to not meeting the minimum requirements for either Twitch or YouTube, I did start a Ko-fi. It's a cute little platform that'll let me have an outlet to monetizing my streams. It's completely optional, but if you wish to support me by any means, my Ko-fi would be a start. I don't have any plans to currently create a membership or even have exclusive content, but that may change in the future. For now, any support I receive, and I'll always be thankful for it. I should talk about monetization though. As I stated before, I cannot monetize myself with YouTube nor Twitch. I haven't streamed in Twitch for a very long time, so I definitely don't meet the requirements for that. And with YouTube, I can't monetize myself there either, but I have gotten slightly closer ever since I began streaming. If you look at the screen now, this is where I currently am. About a month ago when I started, while my subs had some numbers there, my hours were not there. Lately, however, they've been going up, and it seems that slowly but surely I'll be able to monetize my YouTube. When I begin multi-streaming for Twitch, I'll also try to get those numbers up to be able to monetize myself there too. My Ko-fi will also be around. I really like that platform, and seeing what I can do with it, I definitely want to do more things with it and you guys. So I'm trying to get money here. That's the bottom line. What exactly will I do with this money? Well, besides my job being my primary source of income, it doesn't hurt to have a little extra. Recently in my Ko-fi, I actually had to set up a goal of sorts. I didn't really have a choice since it was a requirement for starting my Ko-fi, and I didn't want to impose on something big. So I jokingly had my goal for $25 to buy myself a case of G Fuel Blue Bomber slushy. I'm streaming Mega Man, so I figured I'd have the goal to be Mega Man related. And I actually met that goal. With over 250% funded, I was floored away. I almost wanted to cry, and I almost kind of did. I kind of did, to be honest. I'm really thankful for what I got, and I'm happy I'm able to provide something people like. This time around, I'll actually have a goal. The majority of the money that I receive from you guys, and any monetization I get from YouTube and Twitch, will actually be going towards my streaming. Things like my rent, bills, food, and personal wants, I'll keep to my own funds that I get through my job. Unless I have an emergency, then I'll use any funds that I get on here for that. I still feel weird receiving money from people, but I also don't want to use their money that I've been given for personal things that I can get on my own. I want to use that money to further my content and my socials to make it better. Things like equipment, games viewers want me to play, and art as examples. Yeah, looking at my YouTube and Twitch, I got nothing. It's super bare bones, and I'm by no means an artist or a graphics designer. I can edit a video and do things there, but for art, I'm out of my class there. At the moment, I'm currently funding my channel art and graphics with my personal money, slowly but surely. As time goes on, you'll start to see that roll out. There's no need to take a guess, but I'm definitely going to make my art, branding, and design based on Nephenee. She's my favorite character of all time, and to be honest, she needs more representation. It's a work in progress, but I can't wait to show you guys what I got. Overall, I'm always thankful for what I'm given, and even if it's just a view on my stream, it means so much. Trust me. Just because I spent some time talking about what I want to do with the monetization, that doesn't necessarily mean I won't be giving back to the very people who's been helping me grow. I've mentioned it here and there, and I kept it quiet for the most part, but I will formally announce that I am going to be potentially giving away 13 copies of Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. One will be right off the bat as a thank you. 6 will be for each time I 100% a Battle Network game. And here's why I said potentially 13. The other 6 will be for each time I reach Omega rank for Battle Network. That I cannot guarantee. It depends on the player base if I can get to the rank feasibly. Keep in mind, this does not have crossplay. While I did say I'm going to get this for the Switch as well, my primary game will be on Steam. Not everybody has Steam. And it's also not that I'll give up or anything, but it is 100% a grind. Mostly for the chips that I want to use for my folder, and it takes a lot of time, even with Buster Max speeding the process. However, I can guarantee 7 since 100%ing each game is not impossible. I'm still researching the kinks and optimal ways to running said giveaway, but sometime in the near future, expect to see me announcing it and beginning the giveaway. I want to make it fair for all, and I want to make sure it goes as smooth as possible. If anyone actually has any tips for giveaways, I'll take them. I hope to start them very soon for you guys. Overall, I'm in a much happier state of mind. The very thing that started my YouTube has exploded with fans because of this collection, and I cannot be any happier for it. I pray for my internet working well so I can continue playing and showing off to people how much I enjoyed the series. If you watched me this far, thank you so much. It means so much. Stay tuned for more streams and content coming your way. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and also turn on the bell notification to get any updates on my YouTube. Follow at ThyGamePlaya on Twitter if you wish to see how silly I can get, or at ThyContentPlaya for any and all content updates. Follow me on twitch.tv/ThyGamePlaya to see any future streams streaming on there alongside with YouTube. And finally, follow me on Ko-fi to support me if you wish to do so. Every link will be in the description of the video. Thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.